Welcome, Gunrunner.
Hello everybody, Q&A the Laird here, and I have another magazine review for you, and it is the second part of my look at ACE, Advanced Computer Entertainment. If you haven't watched the first part, then you should really go and watch that first. I've linked it in the description if you do want to go and watch that. But here's my second part. So like the first part, I'm going to look at a couple more issues of this magazine. I went into the first part what it was about, but just a quick summary was ACE was the predecessor to Edge by Future Publishing, and it was a more serious look at mainly the 16-bit systems. Originally, that was the main focus of the magazine, was the ST Amiga PC. Later on, it started to look at consoles quite a bit too, and it had a small coverage of some of the 8-bit systems in it as well, but they got a smaller focus. But it was a multi-format magazine, but a more serious one like Edge. But we'll start off with a great issue here, because this one with Switchblade 2 on the cover I bought, and I mentioned in the first episode that I didn't buy Ace very often. I only bought it if it had something I was really interested in it, because it just wasn't my kind of magazine. And if I wanted, an ST magazine, for example, I'd go and buy an actual ST magazine. I had a Lynx around this time as well. So if it had some decent Lynx coverage, that's probably why I would have bought it, actually. So it's maybe why I bought this issue. I can't remember, actually. So as we have a look through it, it might bring back some memories of specifically why I bought it. But I do really like that cover. So I would have been instantly drawn to that great cover, which is from Switchblade 2. But they've unusually, rather than a picture like Ace often used, like you can see on the issues to the side, they have used actual graphics in the game, which just shows how good graphics have got at that point. Simon Phipps' wonderful visuals for Switchblade 2 of Hero, I believe he was called. So it starts off with an advert for Ocean, Robocop 2, Total Recall, Narc, and Chess HQ 2. So if you watch the first video, actually, I think this is a couple of months after the last issue I looked at in that first video. There's our features. Going to our news, Aliens 3, stuff about MC Hammer, stuff about Activision, Game Boy Double Dragon, Jackie Chan, Nightmare on Elm Street. Sega develops holographic coin op. So that would be the what was it called? Time Machine? Something. I can't think what it's called now. It's gone out of my head. But that was amazing back in the day. Seeing that, it was just incredible. The holographic. Apparently, though, they were rubbish because they cost a lot of money and they broke down all the time. So they weren't around for very long. But it was certainly an amazing thing to see back then. Now letters. So then we go into main feature on Birds of Prey, one of the main features even. There's a nice advert for Roro Turku. Enter the Cyber Zone. So Ace visits Anglia TV's Norwich Studios, where Broadsword are filming the pilot for a radically new game show, virtually Cyber Zone. I remember that. It was a bit crap. It was a game show that tried to use virtual reality, but virtual reality really wasn't up to it then. It wasn't good enough. Major Ace battles the licensed overlords, so looking at licensed games. There we go, Road Blasters, Ghostbusters, Simpsons, all sorts of stuff. So another more serious article on graphics. Turn this page to enter a new world. 3D construction kit by Domark. That was very, very cool. Basically, you can make your own games using their Freescape engine. Brat. Building for the future. This is about different software houses, I think. It's looking like CDI isn't going to happen. All the hardware manufacturers have got miffed waiting for Philips in Hetherington, joint boss of Psygnosis. You're wrong, actually. But that's about the first CD project that Psygnosis are working on. And of course, Psygnosis did become quite famous for their CD stuff, because they did a lot of the early games for the PlayStation. So that's really where they went. Psygnosis did do a couple of CDI games in the end, I think. Lemmings springs to mind. Down at the arcades in Blackpool, which is quite cool. I've been to the arcades in Blackpool a few times, but only in recent years. Not back when I was a kid. Blackpool wasn't somewhere we visited because it was too far away. Maybe from the south of England. Blackpool being right up north. Says Switchblade 2. So it's an Ace Trailblazer. Absolutely loved it. Console quality graphics arrived on the Amiga thanks to Gremlins' top-notch sequel. So they gave it 900. So they loved it, and it got Ace graphics as well. Domino, Armageddon, Life and Death 2, Hole in One, Super Famicom, Gremlins 2, Game Boy, The Killing Cloud, it's Amiga version they reviewed there, Thunderhawk, very cool, cool design, and Warzone, there's some cool design stuff there, Supercars 2 by Gremlin. That's the PC version, weirdly, that they looked at. Of that, wouldn't have expected that. Eye of the Beholder, that's the PC version. Pac-Mania, that's the Master System version. Populous on the Master System. Hill Street Blues game. Chrysalis. Toki there, that's the Amiga version. And Chuck Rock is the Amiga version as well. A 15 Strike Eagle advert. Brat, again the Amiga version. Cybercon 3. What did they give Brat, interestingly, actually? Did they like it? Such a strange game. 850, yeah, they did. I made quite a big deal out of Brat at the time, like it was a console game, but it wasn't really. So stuff System 3 we're doing, like Last Ninja, Silly Putty, Myth. Codes for Lemmings. Dragon's Lair 3. I'm still not sure exactly why I bought this issue. Maybe it's just because I really liked that cover. It's quite possible. So we go. Pink pages again, which I mentioned in the first one, where they looked at different things. So this one's again, it's got a console and computer guide. What did they give the CC4 game system, actually? That's interesting. 2 stars. Oh, blimey. I didn't totally hate it, though. Whoops. We lost the last few pages there, but I don't think it's anything interesting. I think it was just classified ads and stuff. Yes, it was. So there we go. Next one. June 1991. So last one was May. So it's actually only just a month after issue 45. So the interesting thing there to note is on the top bit where it says Amiga, ST, PC, Mega Drive, Game Boy. They've added links onto that one there. So they did cover the links pretty well in Ace, actually. So that's cool to see. Into previews, so talking about some VR stuff there. Shanghai 2, Sonic. That's interesting because it says that US Gold are going to be making home computer versions of Sonic the Hedgehog. A lot of people reported on that at the time. There's going to be Amiga ST and PC versions. Never happened. Never happened. And there's different versions of what happened to that. The widely believed version is that US Gold thought they'd secured a deal with Sega because they had an agreement with them at the time. But then Sega decided that they didn't want Sonic appearing on other systems because it would devalue their product, and Sonic was kind of their main draw to buying a Mega Drive or a Master System, which I believe is the right thing. Manchester United Europe. There. There's an FM Towns, little section on the FM Towns, which is interesting there. Letters. Captain Planet preview. Laser Vision, so there you go, looking at Discmans and stuff. Very cool. King Mario. Looking about Super Mario World. And some other games that they're comparing it to, like Rainbow Islands. advert for some stuff by Virgin Games. They're brilliant conversions to Golden Axe. Actually, they were very good. Their home computer boards of Golden Axe, which I've looked at on the channel recently. Actually, my 4-play series. I've been playing those quite recently. Hero Quest. So what show are they out there? ECTS, European Computer Trade Show. Stroke Eagle. Some Microprose flight sims. Stuff about VR. And some other arcade games there. Screen tester review section. Roger Wilco and the Time Rippers, Space Quest 4. I'm guessing that's PC. Yep, they liked that. 880. Gods, of course, by the Bitmap Brothers. So there we've got Amiga and ST reviewed at the same time. The ST was the lead development platform for Gods, so that's not really a surprise. Not much between them though. Shadow Dancer, that's the Amiga version. They liked that. 740. Hill Street Blues, they liked that. Django Khan Squash, they liked that. I thought that was good as well. I was quite surprised by how much I liked Django Khan Squash. Mercs. So this is a preview, actually. This is a preview here. So home ports of Mercs and Alien Storm, Jet Fighter 2. There's a review of Viz, which they quite liked. It's strange that a lot of people seem to have this thing that Viz got really bad reviews back in the day, the game Viz. And it's this terrible game. And also it's strange because I think it's alright if you liked Viz. You know, it captured much of the crude humour of the comic. Game Boy version of R-Type, which they liked. Barai Fighter Deluxe, which they also liked. Aero Blasters on the Mega Drive, that's a really good game. Yeah, they liked it. 785. Midnight Resistance, they didn't like that so much, so 680. Decent score, but not amazing. Because you've got to think of it like 68% really, haven't you? F-15-2. Advert for CMVG. Which is of course the same publisher. Predator 2. That's the Amiga one, 700. So here's Tips and Cheats. Advert for CU Amiga. There's the pink pages. We've got charts this time starting off. Then we've got the console and computer guide. There's computers afterwards. Classified ads and stuff as well. News on different systems. Hot off the shelf, so other games that are out now basically, and telling you whether they're any good or not. And that's pretty much it. That's Ace magazine. That's all the issues I've got is these 4 that I've looked at in these last 2 videos. But I hope you have enjoyed my look at Ace magazine. It might have brought back some memories of those of you who bought Ace back in the day. I'm sure many of you can see its similarities to Edge in many ways. Edge was basically very similar to Ace, but I think went for a more slick look with the bigger images and stuff. But also Ace was a fairly pretentious magazine, but nowhere near as pretentious as Edge, which is really ultra pretentious, especially the earlier issues. But yeah, Ace was all right. It just didn't appeal to me so much, being a bit more serious back then. I wanted something a bit more entertaining to read. Had I been older, then I might have enjoyed Ace more. But as a teenager, I wanted to read stuff like Game Zone and CMVG more than stuff like Ace and Zero. But that's it really. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been the Laird, and I'll see you all again soon for another one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.